Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA business for sale in the arts and crafts niche. Created in September 2016, this business makes $4,580 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the site is 44276. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. How are you doing today, Ruben?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Jake?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for taking the time to connect with me today.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
So before we dive into the questions that I want to ask you, I'm going to go ahead and run through a quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in September of 2016, has a monthly revenue of $23,782, expenses of $19,202 to make for a net profit of $4,580, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the domain, site content and files, 8 SKUs, email list, Facebook page, registered trademark, and the brand logo, labels, fonts, and color files. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Ruben, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, sure. I am previously for about 8 years, I was working at a small business doing their marketing and mainly online marketing and email marketing. And I kind of dabbled in a few other online businesses and then stumbled upon the Amazon FBA method through my brother who introduced me to it. So I was kind of looking into it when I figured out the job I was working for, the business I was working for, was actually going out of business. So I kind of went all in on this and it ended up working for this brand. So
how did you come up with the idea for this business within this niche?
So I had my wife actually kind of help me out with it. She's into arts and crafts. So I kind of used her hobby and then used Pinterest and Etsy to get product ideas and then just ran with that, looked at the search data and competition, and it seemed like a space that wasn't very competitive compared to other spaces.
So since the space isn't overly competitive, when you started the business a year and a half ago, did it take a long time to reach a steady profit level?
It actually didn't. As soon as I got the product, my first product online, I actually geared it towards a seasonal product when I initially started. And I did a few samples of other products and ended up going with one in particular. And as soon as I actually launched it on Amazon, it hit inventory about mid-November. That fourth quarter from November to December, I did about 80,000 in revenue off that first product right away. And I think that was just due again to there just wasn't much competition in the space for that niche, that product.
So the business is seasonal then?
The first product that I launched was a seasonal product, or I launched it as a seasonal product and marketed it that way. But it actually continued to pick up sales through after the holidays. But it was I think it's about third to a fourth of the actual sales on, I guess, off season. But it's a product that can be used, dozens of different ways. It's just, it's really heavy during fourth quarter because of the way it was marketed.
When you say marketed, what exactly are you doing in terms of marketing for the business?
So, just on the actual product page, the audience that it was geared towards. All the marketing is just done on Amazon on the product page, and then I do pay-per-click, so target certain keywords. And I created both like a seasonal pay-per-click campaign and a non-seasonal after I figured out that it could be a non-seasonal product as well. And, it brings in income without it being, fourth quarter. But then once fourth quarter hits, it really spikes sales. And I actually had an issue keeping it in stock during fourth quarter and had to raise my prices, just to balance out the profit and try and keep it in while my inventory hit back in stock. So I wasn't out too long.
With the Facebook page that that the business has, how successful is the Facebook page? How many followers do you have?
So on the Facebook page, it's about 2,200. on Facebook, and then I also built up an email list of about 5,600.
And how did you go about generating that email list?
I used Facebook ads and combination with a landing page and a giveaway in a new niche that I was planning to grow out. And I kind of ran into an issue with capital and growing out this niche. So, that would be a good opportunity for someone else to, if they have the capital, to kind of focus on that audience. Right now, the audience that I actually built up isn't contributing to any of the sales for the current products, which one of them, since that C-Zone product, I actually ended up trying to launch another product after that didn't work. So I kind of let that one go. But then the end of last fourth quarter, I launched a new SKU with variations that's been growing and doing very well. And it's another product that doesn't really have much competition, so it's easy to maintain.
Do you see a lot of traffic come from the Facebook and email list marketing?
When I launched those two channels, I only did a few different pushes with those lists. It's pretty responsive just because the niche is in. They're pretty engaged in the topic. And I think the open rates we had on the email list was I think it was just under 34%, which is, from my experience, is pretty decent for that size list. So I think it's a good list. It was a really targeted list for the niche we were going into, but it doesn't relate actually to, the current products that I'm selling. So I just really didn't put much effort into those lists because I kind of ran out of capital to launch more into that niche.
You have a trademark on the brand, correct?
Correct.
And is the business then part of the Amazon Brand Registry program?
Yes.
Do you feel like that has helped your sales at all on Amazon? Help your ranking and everything?
I think it's possible that it's helped that, but more than that, I think it gives me more protection against competition and competitors trying to come in on my product and say, like, for instance, that they're selling the exact same thing. I have the protection saying that I own the brand and I can take that to Amazon. So that was initially why I had set that up, just to have protection over the products that I sell.
If you had to put a number on how many hours a week you're putting in to maintain the business as is, what would you estimate that to be?
To maintain the products right now as is, I put maybe about 3 hours a week, and those 3 hours are pretty much dedicated to maintaining the inventory at this point. Initially setting up the products and setting up the pay-per-click on the products, there's more time involved at the beginning. But at this point, I've kind of fine-tuned the products that I have to where I'm just putting in about 3 hours a week, and that's just keeping an eye on stock levels.
What do you feel are some of the big opportunities for growth that a new owner could take advantage of?
If it were me with, pursuing it and I had the capital, I would definitely expand out the line on related products in the niche or compared to the products that are already selling, just because it's low competitive. And I think it would be an easy way to get more income. And then I would also expand it to other Amazon marketplaces. Right now, I have the one of the SKUs in Canada, which does decent. It does pretty good considering there's no competition. And Canada is a lot lower volume. But, even with the lower volume, it does pretty good over there. And I would focus on getting the other product and they were to expand to take it to Canada. And I've also considered Etsy just because it's an arts and crafts category and you can be on there as a supplier. That's something I would look into as well.
Have you looked at setting up your own website, your own Shopify store?
So when you get brand registered on Amazon, you do have to have a website. And I have a WordPress site built for it, but I don't really advertise or drive much traffic to it. I'm mainly right now just focused on Amazon.
So that website that you have with the domain is purely to have a presence online so you can qualify for the brand registry program. You haven't looked at utilizing that at all.
Correct.
So that could be another big opportunity for someone who has the skills in building up a store like that. And that opens the doors to, some other cool opportunities, like if you have experience with SEO and Google AdWords, and then you can drive social media traffic to the Shopify store. That could be a big opportunity.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm. Do you feel like there are any big risks associated with this business?
I mean, from doing it, I would say, and from, the product that didn't work out is, I would say the biggest risk is competition. And with Amazon, I see a lot of Chinese, competition manufacturers kind of coming into the space. And the good thing with this one is the two main products that I have are US based. So I think you have less of a chance of Chinese manufacturer kind of coming in to underball you on price. So I think, that kind of counteracts the big issue with a lot of the Amazon, businesses.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's clear that this business has a strong foundation here. I mean, you're making, a lot of money throughout the year, and then come the holiday season, you see this big spike. And, you said before that your first holiday season you did maybe 80,000 this year in revenue. This year you did, just looking at the numbers and doing the math, you did like 100 and, $120,000 in revenue. Like, it's a growing business, it's a growing area, and you don't have much competition. I mean, I guess the risks would be confined to any risk that an online business has, really. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, of course.
And how much support are you willing to offer a buyer during the transition period? I mean, I know that you said, and forgive me, was it your girlfriend or your fiance or your wife? But someone,
Yeah,
wife. So your wife is very into arts and crafts, and that's how you got the idea. But I mean, what if someone doesn't have that background like your wife has?
Yeah, so I mean, I would be willing to offer 60 days of support via Skype, chat, phone call. And as far as the new products, I think that the new buyer could utilize online resources to grab the data for new products, Pinterest, Etsy, and then like merchant words for the search data on Amazon. And I'm familiar with all the tools, and I'd be willing to, help the new buyer get familiar as well.
Would you be open to discussing something like an earnout?
I think I'm leaning towards no on this one just because it's my first business, and I really want to take this capital from the sale of this one to actually launch more businesses doing the Amazon model, just because it's the best way I've seen online to make good income, but you do need the capital to do it. So, on this one, I'm looking to actually get the full payout up front.
Yeah, and that's certainly understandable. So, Reuven, thank you for the time. I have one final question for you. Before we get to that, though, I want to go ahead and run through that quick summary of the business again. The business was built in September of 2016, has a monthly revenue of $23,782, expenses of $19,202 to make for a net profit of $4,580, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the domain, site content and files, 8 SKUs, email list, Facebook page, registered trademark, and the brand logo, labels, fonts, and color files. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Okay, Reuven, can you go ahead and just kind of summarize what we've spoken about today and put in your own words, give me your 30-second best pitch on why this is a business worth buying?
Yeah, sure. So I think that this brand has a good solid base to start and has room to grow. And with the current product line that I have, it takes little attention to maintain. And I think it's a great opportunity to utilize the current Facebook audience and email list to grow out the brand.
I mean, there are certainly opportunities, like we've mentioned, getting on a Shopify store and expanding onto the Amazon Canada platform, selling on other platforms, expanding onto Etsy, things like that. There are plenty of opportunities, and what you've done well, I mean, you clearly have a strong foundation built there.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Reuven, thank you for the time today.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.